Welcome to Teen Up, a podcast that digs deeper into the thoughts of teenagers' mind about the wonders of the world.
If you're new here, I'm your host, Isabella.
And I'm Glenn. If you're not, welcome back.
Here is a quick disclaimer. We are two teenagers that are doing our best to research everything. However, we are not experts, so if we offend anyone or say something wrong, we want to apologize in advance. Please email us to tell us what was wrong. Thank you. This week, we'll take a step back and look at relationships, especially love relationships. We'll talk about the different types of love that psychologists have come up and what does it mean to be one of those types of lovers.
Okay, so I know that in the past season, mainly we talk about like the LGBTQ community and Pride Month and this kind of stuff. But we feel like we can, just look at the bigger picture as a whole, like relationship. And I know that it's not gonna be like very comprehensive and it's just gonna be like a little bit of this topic. And I think we will probably, make a fuller season in the future, right?
Sure, we could, elaborate on this a little bit more.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna start with a thing called social domain. So, the psychologists have come up with this idea that relationship is different in different domains. So, what does domain means? It means like different places and different circumstances. So over evolutionary time, certain relationship domains become incorporated as discrete modules in human neural architecture. This is what their research paper wrote. It says that these domains will represent knowledge for us to follow, like how to act, how to respond, this kind of stuff.
Okay.
So it kind of mean like we kind of acquire this idea of social domain during socialization, and we learn the sensitivities and regulatory processes appropriate for different domains.
So it's not like actually taught, it's just like learned throughout our normal throughout communication and stuff, right?
I mean, I feel like it could be both in a way, because like honestly your mom would told you what to do, what not to do, so it kind of is like what we learn, but it could also be what we observed,
Oh, true. Okay. Yeah.
So Dr. Bugentol has proposed 5 social domains. The first one is attachment domain. So this is characterized by how close you are. So this type of relationship is maintained by your proximity with the other person, or if it's not a person, then
Wait, I don't get it.
So it means that this type of relationship is protected, or like this type of relationship is under your proximity, and it is kind of like protective. So because of this proximity.
Okay, so like if your domain is this, you cannot do long distance relationships.
No. Okay. It means that
I'm so confused.
It's like I have a relationship, not, love relationship, but I have a relationship with, say, my sister, which I don't have a sister.
Okay.
Say I have a relationship with my sister. It could be because we are very close, like we live together and we see each other every day in a way. So this proximity creates this relationship. And so maybe we protect each other. And this type of relationship will fall under the attachment domain.
Okay.
So the second one is hierarchical power domain. So this one is characterized by use and recognition of social dominance. So for this one, the first thing that I thought about is like maybe teacher.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe the teacher's relationship with us would fall under hierarchical power domain, because there's like this hierarchy between me and my teacher, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, in our country at least.
Could you say, like, with your parents, there's this hierarchical power domain? Would that be strange?
I feel like it doesn't have to be like a clear cut,
Okay.
but I do feel like it could be, under this
Okay.
domain. So this third one, it's easier to understand. It's coalitional group domain. So I actually talked about it in last season, about the us and them.
Oh, the culture one.
Yeah, so for relationships under this domain, the main concern of identification and maintenance of relationship is to like divide us and them.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what like kind of keeps this relationship, and it will fall under this domain.
Okay.
Yeah. So number 4 is reciprocity domain. It is characterized by the negotiation of matched benefits with functional equals.
Okay. Is this like between friends or like classmates and stuff?
Wow, you are evil.
What do you mean?
I mean, for this one, I would think it's like business partners or...
Oh, because of benefits? Oh, okay. I mean, true, with friends, you have to like get benefits or else you won't want to be friends with them, right?
I mean, it doesn't necessarily has to be benefits.
Okay.
For what I see here, it's more like a more tangible benefits.
Oh, okay.
For friends, I would say it's like attachment domain or coalitional group domain.
Oh, okay.
It's not gonna be benefit for me, but do you make friends because of benefits?
I mean that's hopefully not the first thing that comes to my mind when I want to be a person's friend, but I mean, in a way, sort of, don't you?
No.
What? Oh my god. I feel like I'm like a bad person right now.
No, I just see if I like that person. That's that simple.
I mean, true. I see if I like that person, but if that person like don't treat me like the same or like okay, wait. So I have an example of this. Is like I don't really like a person in my class, but like if that person gives me food, I would like consider that person as my friend.
I wouldn't. I would just say that person is my classmate who gives me food, but I wouldn't call them friend,
Okay. Oh my god. I'm such a terrible. Okay, yeah, true. Okay, I would call that person a classmate too.
I mean, of course, if that person is a classmate, then it doesn't change anything.
Oh, true. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be, emotional benefits. It doesn't necessarily have to be like monetary or something like that.
Oh yeah, so see friends.
But at least for me, for what I'm understanding, I wouldn't say it's, friends.
Okay, fine.
But I mean, of course, in a way, you can argue that friends are just like relying on others' benefit.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say I would never like expect other people to give me anything. Maybe I have low expectations for people.
I mean, true. Yeah, you wouldn't actually ask for anything, right?
Yeah. Anyways, this is getting out of hands. So the last one, the 5th one, very simple. Mating domain. So it's just concerned with the selection and protection of access to sexual partners. Simple.
So more like love relationships?
We will get into that later. But
okay.
I would say before we go into break, I don't think love and sexual relationship coexist.
Really?
Yep. So after the break, we'll be exploring more on love relationship.
Welcome back. Now we'll talk more about love relationships.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a more scientific approach here, or like an analytical way of looking at love first.
Wow, you're making love really rational and it's not. Okay, let's do this.
So the first model that people have is the color wheel model for love. It's brought up by John Lee, a psychologist, and this model is like, it has 3 types of kind of like lover, and he compares these styles to the 3 primary colors, which is like
Okay.
red, blue, yellow, you know? So these three types of lovers are just like these three colors. So the first one we have eros. This is a term from Greek word meaning passionate or erotic. So this type of lover is the kind that involves both physical and emotional passion. So the second one we have is ludos. This is from the Greek word game. And this style of love is more playful and fun, but not necessarily serious. And people who exhibit this form of love are not ready for commitment and maybe have a little bit fear of intimacy.
Also, like casual hookups.
It could be, but we're not going to get into like fear of commitment and fear of intimacy today because we don't have enough time for those. Maybe we can talk about it in the future.
Sure.
So the third type is storge. It stems from the Greek term, another Greek term, meaning natural affection. And this style of love is often represented by familial love between parents and children, siblings, extended family members. This can also be like more of a friendship type of love. And this type of love can also develop out of people who share interests and commitments gradually, develop affection for one another. So this is like the first model. And then somebody proposed another model. It's Lee's 6 styles of loving. This person proposed that colors can be mixed. So love should also be mixed. So it kind of like creates 6 styles, right? So the 3 primary styles are eros, ludos, and storge, which is the same ones that we talk about. But here it's more simplified. So for eros, it's loving an ideal person. Ludos is love as a game. And storge is love as friendship.
Wait, loving an ideal person, what does that mean?
So for the previous model, that person like talk about how it involves both physical and emotional passion. So I feel like that might be what it is talking here.
Okay.
Like a person have both things that you would want, maybe? Yeah. Okay, so there are also 3 secondary styles. It's mania, which is eros and ludos. It's obsessive love. And pragma. It's ludos and storge, realistic and practical love. And agape, which is eros and storge. It's selfless love.
Okay, so wait, what is obsessive love?
I mean, maybe like a maniac or like very crazy, kind of like that, I'd say.
But how is like adding loving an ideal person and love as a game together obsessive love? Like,
because loving an ideal person means you're very like passionate, I feel like.
So I feel like there should be like more than this 6 styles. Like, I guess every type of like relationship could be like a mixture of all these 6, right? So it's not like necessarily very clear cut 6 types of love.
I would say no, it's not very clear cut because, it's about colors and it's more like a spectrum, I'd say.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay.
But, that's it for the models. And another person, Robert Sternberg, proposed a triangular theory, suggests that there are 3 components of love: intimacy, passion, and commitment. So yeah, this is just like another theory. And I do feel like this theory is kind of like a little bit more easy to understand.
And it makes a lot of sense. We do need these 3 components to love a person.
But if you think about it, it is kind of like similar to the 3 types up there. But the 3 type is like one type has, one of these characteristics, if you think about it. So I'd say it's kind of similar, but just using easier to understand way of saying it. For these theory of love relationships begin with an establishment of like sharing likes, preferences, or like establishing common interests. So this is like the first step. And I feel like it is also true for like friendship.
Right.
Like you guys have a common interest and you have like a common topic to talk about, stuff like that. So the next step is to start disclose more personal informations through self-revelation, which is pretty self-explanatory.
It's like being vulnerable and like just opening up to another person, right?
Yeah, and the social expectation is that when one person kind of like open up, the other person would like also open up and share more personal informations. In this
Okay.
like in this process, they can build trust. And the next step, or like it could be the next step, is sexual intimacy. So when, for example, two people begin to disclose themselves and, you know, met with support and acceptance with each other, they built this kind of dependency.
Okay.
Which is kind of like trust.
Okay. Wait, so but does it have to like go in this order? Like,
I'd say it's pretty natural. Isn't it like kind of natural that you just start with things that is not like your deepest fear? Like you're not gonna go on the street and talk to some strangers about your recurring nightmares.
True.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
That's true. So if you like skip a step, does that make your relationship less stable?
I mean, how can you skip a step?
What if like you just don't open up to a person and then skip to sexual intimacy?
Well, I think it kind of comes down to if you don't open up, at least what I think is that it's not gonna work because it's just like you guys don't even have trust.
Okay, true.
But it could be that you build trust through physical intimacy.
Oh, okay.
But I don't feel like that is gonna be like
Long lasting.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, at least for what people are saying and these like theories and, you know, research, it all kind of like points to people need to have trust or like they need to open up to build a, you know, healthy relationship and stuff. Anyways, so with time, partners come to rely on each other and especially for fulfillment and needs. So it could be anything, like not limited to sexual fulfillment. So that is kind of like how relationships develop.
Okay, that's interesting. I've actually thought of this before. Like, how do you make this? Isn't only like limited to love relationships, like making friends. I've thought of like how people make like some people just easily make friends. Some people just, you know, have a hard time doing it. Yeah, I do notice some people like, okay, for example, like if I just start a new year at school and like I don't know anybody. So basically, if this person is good at making friends, I feel like they would like go through the first step, which is like, you know, sharing common interests and stuff. Like they skip that like really fast and they would just open up immediately. And so like, so that the other person could, you know, trust this person.
I mean,
and like this.
I feel like it really depends on people, you know?
True.
Like I would be freaked the hell out.
Oh, true. If that person just starts sharing stuff.
Say we start our senior year and we go back to school and, you know, somebody in our class that I rarely talk to sit next to me and just like start opening up about, I don't know, their parents' divorce. I would like, dude, why do you tell me that? I don't need to know that. Like, this is too much.
Oh, true.
Like, I would be uncomfortable. So I wouldn't say straight up opening up would be the best option.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I get it.
Right? Like, if I start talking to you about very personal stuff, you wouldn't be comfortable.
True. Wait, but like, so I had this conversation with my friend. So, there was this classmate of mine. She's a really nice person. It's just that I don't really click with her that much. I mean, I don't click with a lot of people, but anyways, she's really nice, and a lot of people like her. I guess like her strategy is like,
You don't have to make it a strategy, dude.
I mean, true. It's just the nature like that. That's just her. So like basically, she starts like talking about how she's doing lately and like how she's like talking about like class stuff, and so like I could connect with her a little bit better. So that's like the establishing some common interests. So like after a day or two, she would like start talking to me about like, oh, what do you think of this person, like and she would start sharing like her history with this person to me, and like how this person's personality is like good or bad. And then I would like by that, like the way she talks about that person, I could start trusting her, because like she is sharing with me like her past history with this person. And there's this interesting I realized about the way she talks. She doesn't share everything. Like she wouldn't share the same thing to everyone. She would like share different information, like deeper, like more personal information with each person, so that with each person she has like this special connection. Do you get what I mean? It's so smart. Like for you talk to A, and then you tell A like, oh, you don't really like this teacher because the last exam that teacher gave me a really low score. And then when you talk to B, you would say uh like what do you think of
Isabella.
sure. Like what do you think of Isabella? I think that she's like sometimes really,
Hard to click with.
yeah, hard to click with, and like I've had conversations with her, and we just don't relate. And then like she would establish a better connection with B, because B would, if B thinks like, oh yeah, Isabella's so hard to click with, like I don't know what's wrong with her. Like okay, wait. So then she would like go and say she would have this special connection with B. Like it's just these really little and personal information that actually doesn't affect her if that like A or B tells other people, but like she uses this way to like make friends.
I feel like there's like this thing that I think about. It's like how long these friendship can last.
True.
And the truth is that we've only known each other for like 3 years tops, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that these kind of stuff can only proven by time.
Yeah, true.
So you will never really know if this, like, say, strategy is really working or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only way to know is for, like 10 years later. Are they still friends?
True.
Do they still have this type of, say, connection? Because if the connection is not really like genuine,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's useless or like it's meaningless.
Yeah. It would be like a waste of time. True.
It's like back to like our topic of love relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're not serious with a person, but I mean it doesn't necessarily has to be serious,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like if you're not genuinely wanting to be with this person,
Then why be with this person, right?
yes, it's also true for like friendships. Like if I don't want to be with this person, then why should I be talking to him or like whatever? I mean, you can have like the basic human decency, but you don't need to
Mm-hmm.
be like doing everything for that person.
True. Gosh, we sound so pessimistic.
No, but like you don't need to like hit them or anything. But anyways, like I just don't feel like I want to spend time on a human relationship that I don't care about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is quite important in a way because see, I talked about like trust and like having like a similar interest in stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't have a similar interest with a person, then I would probably not want to be friends with that person. Then, or lovers, say love relationship, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then I'm not gonna spend my time on a relationship that I don't even care about.
True. I mean, I guess people do this often for like freshness or just for fun, which I think it's not like a decent thing to do, because if the other person wants to actually have a serious thing with you, like a commitment, I feel like the person who just thinks that this is like for fun should tell them straight away.
Yeah. I feel like we're digressing too much, so let's
True.
just like put an end to it. So get back to the love relationship thing. In the end of this paper that I read, it says that in order for love to last, it is important for partners to establish support and to like discuss daily events and communicating about their goals and desires and showing signs of trust.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they should continue to rely on each other and to, fulfill their needs. So it, like, this process of love will not go backwards. If you didn't like keep this relationship going, then it will just like go back, the processes. Like maybe you'll have less sexual intimacy, and then you don't even open up, and you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. I think that's true. Like a lot of relationships end this way, which I think it's just sad. But I mean, if that relationship needs to end, I guess it needs to be ended.
Yeah, and I feel like we can get more in depth into this whole topic in future seasons.
Yeah, for sure. This is a lot.
Yeah, I feel like we're just, stuffing too many things in this season. So look out for our future seasons about relationships. So to put an end note on this season, I would say after like looking at this love relationship or like relationship thing, there's like one thing that we didn't mention at all.
What is it?
Gender.
Oh.
None of it has anything to do with gender. Like, of course, sexual intimacy, but it's not limited to like, boys and girls.
Yeah, I guess like having these relationships it doesn't have to be between any specific gender. It's just like between people, which makes a lot of sense.
So I guess like overall for this season, I would say gender is not the biggest concern for people. Like it shouldn't be the biggest concern.
Right.
But like this conversation about Pride Month and about the LGBTQ community, it's still very important. We're not like discrediting it.
Right. Anyways, I guess this could like relate to the old saying, love is equal. Is that a saying? I'm so unsure if that's a saying actually. So I guess if it's like relationships between your mom, your dad, your friends, your family, your lovers, it's all basically the same if it's within these theories. And yeah. Thank you for listening to this episode. Remember to like, subscribe, and share our channel.
Also, comment down below if you have any thoughts. You could click on the bell to get notified when we upload a new video as well.
Thank you and bye.